श्रीगणेशाय नमः। ॐ यतः सर्वाणि भूतानि प्रतिभान्ति स्थितानि च यत्रैव पशमं यान्ति तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः। ज्ञाता ज्ञानं तथा ज्ञेयं द्रष्टा दर्शनदृश्यभू कर्ता हेतुः क्रिया यस्मात् तस्मै ज्ञात्यात्मने नमः। स्फुरन्ति सीकरा यस्मात् आनन्दस्याम्बरे वनौ सर्वेषां जीवनं तस्मै ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। वेदोदधिं समुन्मथ्य ज्ञानरत्नं समुद्रितं येन तस्मै वसिष्ठाय गुरुणां गुरवे नमः। वशिष्ठ जी भगवान की जय। सद्गुरु भगवान की जय। सच्चिदानंद भगवान की जय। शब्द ब्रह्म की जय। सरस्वती महारानी की जय। योग वशिष्ठ जी भगवान की जय। हरि ओम। हम आज देख रहे हैं योग वशिष्ठ निर्वाण प्रकरण उत्तरार्ध का 18वां अध्याय। 18वां अध्याय में हम क्या देख रहे थे? कल देख रहे थे कि छोटे में बड़े के समावेश को पहले बड़े में अल्पत्व की कल्पना करके दिखलाते हैं, पर बड़े में छोटा और छोटा में बड़ा। इसको हम कल देख रहे थे। Yesterday we were discussing how the bigger one is present in the smaller ones and the smaller ones are present in bigger ones. So first of all he tried to tell us how the bigger one is present in the smaller one. So we saw yesterday how the circle is centered on the center. Without center there cannot be any circle. So the circle which is outward and bigger, as big you can make, so big it appears. So that depends upon the center. So the bigger one is there in the smallest one, and the smaller one is in the bigger one. That is also the same opposite way. Without center there is no circle. So center is there in the circle. Without center the circle cannot be drawn. So circle is dependent on center. Center also is dependent on the circle. If there is no circle, where is the center? So one is dependent on the other. In this way, everything in this world, not only smaller and bigger, everything, every two has a dependency. One, they see this is smaller than this finger. This is smaller when you compare it with the other. then only it appears to be smaller. And similarly, this is bigger because when you compare this bigger one with the smaller one, then only you understand what is bigger one. So both are dependent upon each other. In this way, everything in this world, every two is dependent on each other, whatever you see. This is what we were discussing yesterday. अज्ञान से आवृत चित्ती की जगन नामक ब्रह्म में असद रूप पदार्थ में जीवित को यह लोक, मृत को परलोक तथा उनमें धर्माधर्म फल की जो कल्पना है वो वृद्धि दशा को प्राप्त चित्त की संकल्प रूप एकमात्र भावना ही है। इसका तात्पर्य यह है कि भावना को वस्तु का अन्यथा भाव रोक नहीं सकता है। अच्छा, now what we understand, अज्ञान से आवृत चित्ती, our chitti means the supreme power. Power is nothing but energy. Without energy there is no world. Energy means imbalanced state. That means vibratory system. Vibration means wavy system. Waves are there. Wave means imbalanceness of the balanced state. When we see the waves on the water, water is water all the time, and the surface is balanced. And then when because of some reason, say wind or other disturbance, when the surface water loses its harmony, balanced state, it becomes wavery. Wave means it is not other than the reality. And because of wave, we don't see the reality. We forget the reality, we see the wave. So chitti means this supreme power, which otherwise we call energy, which is the root cause of all these names and forms. Names and forms. You see, names means the identity in sound, some identity by sound which has a relationship with the form, that is called name. So in this way, the wavy system, when it becomes a wave, it should have some name because it has taken a form. So it will have a name, and it will go on modifying or transforming from one to the other. Then only we see multiplication. If we create one wave, it will give rise to the other one. Other one will give rise to this still other one. In this way it will go on. If it is not interrupted, then it will go on for eternity. We see it in our pendulum experiment. in the vacuum, if you keep a pendulum and you give a momentum into it, that momentum creates oscillation of the pendulum. It will go on oscillating till eternity, unless and until it is disturbed by something. It will go on. This is how the energy is ever growing, space is ever going. It will go on. And we have many other such waves. Wave is not one kind. Many kinds of waves are there. So one wave clashes against the other wave, then they subside. When one is clashed against the other, both will subside. Of course, the third wave will be created, the diagonal force. This is what happens in our world. In this, we are, our life is in this process only. Our thoughts, our actions, everything is within this formula. When two thoughts we see in the mind, they are only waves, and if one is created, then it will give rise to the other, and they will have differences, relationship, and one will clash against the other. See, two fingers, this is smaller, this is bigger. It doesn't mean clashing against each other, doesn't mean it will fight physically, but mentally both are fighting with each other. That means thoughts. It is smaller because it is bigger. So these thoughts are fighting against each other. So fight is going on. One small, one big. So small and big, they fight against each other. Then the third decisive thought will come out. In this way, everywhere there is a clash, and that's how we are confused. Anyway, this goes on, and this is called Maya or Chitti, the supreme power or the energy, basic energy, which is the cause for the creation. If everything will be in balanced state, there will be no names, no forms, and there will be no transactions, no relationship, nothing. When one is there, there is no relationship. There is no identity also. Nothing is required. One is ever one. But when arises the second, then all the relationship, all the comparison, transactions start. This is how the whole creation is based upon this formula. He says, Agyan se avrit chitti. This agyan, ignorance, is called not understanding, misunderstanding. That is called ignorance. When we don't know what is what, that is called ignorance. If two are there, we are ignorant. How? If this is smaller than this, it is now smaller. Why it has become smaller? Because this is bigger. And how it has become bigger? When it is compared with the smaller one, then only it is bigger. So the bigger has chance to become smaller, and smaller has the chance to become bigger because it change. Both change. Change is comparison and relationship, all these subject to change. So there is always misunderstanding whether it is ever small or ever big. This is the doubt. When there is doubt, then we are bewildered. What is what? We don't know. And this is how the mind creates so many innumerable thoughts, and those thoughts, they cover up the balanced state. Balanced state means real understanding of the reality, and that's how we don't understand what is what. Of course, we guess something, assume something. By that, our life goes on. Not only our life, the whole creation. Every action in this universe goes on in this way haphazardly. Nothing is certain. That is called the uncertainty or change. Because of change, that is due to this energy. Energy is the cause for the creation, and this is how we are ignorant of the reality. Reality is balanced state. Unless the water is balanced, you cannot see everything clearly what is there in. If it is wavery, you don't understand anything. So clarity is in balanced state. Clarity is in harmony. And if there is no harmony, if there is disturbance, then there is no clarity. This is how Chitta, Chitti, the supreme power, has taken the name of the ignorance, and that is called world. Thank you. Okay, we shall meet again for longer time. Understood now? Something. We shall come to our yesterday problem. From this we shall come. भ्रम में असद रूपी पदार्थ में जीवित को यह लोक मृत को परलोक तथा उनमें धर्माधर्म फल की जो कल्पना है वह वृद्धि दशा को प्राप्त चित्त को संकल्प रूप एकमात्र भावना ही है. What happens then when it is in ignorance? The body when dies, a person dies, that means the body decays, gets destroyed, gets decomposed. So in that state, because of ignorance, we say the person is dead. We don't see it is always growing. See, if this is small, it will one day become big. If it is big, then it will become small. If the bigger one becomes a small, that is also growth. Growth means advancing. Either way, movement is called growth. Whether you go back or go forward, you are advancing. That is growth. Understood? Growth is decay also. It is only the direction changes, but growth is, movement is there. You are going ahead, whether negatively or positively, whether center-wise or away from the center. You are going. Going means you are in movement. And that movement is called growth. If you draw a circle, the pencil goes on growing, then only it becomes a circle. If it keeps quiet, no movement, there cannot be circle, isn't it? Growth, anyway, movement is called growth. Understood now? This is how, after the death of the body, also the body grows. There is movement. Nothing remains silent, nothing remains in equilibrium state, except the truth, which is known as the Supreme Self. So in this way, without having understanding, because of ignorance, because we don't understand this to its deeper meaning, haphazardly, outwardly we say the person is dead. Really speaking, nothing gets dead. Nothing gets dead. Only it undergoes some changes. That's all. Change means growth. Whether you are going forward or going backward, you are going. So that is called growth. In this way, he says, everything grows, and then we, by assumption, without knowing anything, we assume something. It must be doing like this, that must be doing like this. Suppose your friend has left you and gone to do some job in the market or in his office. He is not in the house. So you will be concocting something. Where will he be? Whether he is sitting in the office doing some file work or talking to the people, or he has gone to the field to see the work, or he has taken some other job. Nothing is known, and that's why we will assume something, assumption, which is not reality. In this way, we always do everything without knowing anything. Everything is out of sight. So when out of sight, we don't know anything positively, and we assume something on that. Say, just as yesterday I told you, a boy is absent in the class, so we will be concocting, we will be imagining where he will be. Either he will be in the playground, or in river bank, or he will be in hospital, or he has gone to his friend's house, something which is not true. In this way, we are always in ignorance. ये जो कल्पना है, धर्माधर्म फल को जो कल्पना है, इसको वृद्धि दशा को प्राप्त चित्त की संकल्प एकमात्र भावना ही है. And all these we think only. All these are called ignorant thought waves, which is not clear. That is called ignorance, which is not clear. That is called ignorance, and they are only thought waves, and they are created by the storehouse, that chitta, which is the subconscious mind, where all the impressions are there. Because of impressions, we go on thinking. So this is how the chitta works. Chitta means the सबकॉन्शियस माइंड। इसका तात्पर्य यह है कि भावना को वस्तु का अन्यथा भाव रोक नहीं सकता है। सो द ऑब्जेक्ट is unknown because it goes on changing. The boy is not in the class. That means where is he? We go on thinking, which is not the reality. In this way, the object, the boy, goes on changing in our mind. He is always present wherever he is present. But that is not known to us. The presence, absolute presence is not known to us. And that's how we go on imagining, and those imaginations are the work of the subconscious mind, and they are only thought waves. So everything is there in your mind. Now, all this process we have seen to some extent. Of course, mind is so limited, we cannot understand everything unless and until it calms down. Anyway, this is called ignorance, this is called growth, this is called imagination, and this is how the object gets different states. Because the boy is not there, object the boy. So we go on imagining on it, so it always changes and the reality is not known. This is how the thoughts go on, and the object also go on changing. The boy is changing its place in our mind. Is it? He is somewhere, but we search him in different places by our mind. He may be there, he may be there, until the reality is found. Till then it goes on changing. This is how the object changes. But in reality nothing changes. Yesterday we were discussing how the part of the body of the car never change. Nothing is changing, but yet we see the speed. So on this we had the idea, if this is the situation, then what is the reality and what is the absolute balance state? And by this, from this, we have to come to some other points also. If this is the case, that means the creation is not there, it is absence, isn't it? The whole creation is absent from this point of view. Just as the boy is absent, so we go on searching for here and there. This is how, when we are ignorant of everything, we don't understand what is what. That means it is absent. The creation is absent. Whole creation is absent. Not only one object. Object is not one or many. Object is always the same. When we see it partially, it becomes one, and other part becomes the second, still other part becomes the third. In this way we see the object from different sides, different directions. So one becomes many, just as the body. Body is one, and hands, legs, fingers, or the eyes or nose or front or back, all these are in the body. Object is one. When we see differently from different angles, it becomes many. So all these manyness of the world, it belongs to only one, the absolute one. Because we are unable to see the one fully, then we see parts of it, and that's how the world has become many. We don't see the tree at a glance, so we see the branches, sub-branches, or leaves, and birds, or flowers, or fruits. When we see one, the other is absent. The whole totality we don't see. If you see the whole total one, then many is absent. See the group, if there is a group, the group is nothing but accumulation and combination of many individuals, then only it will be group. And what is individual? Individual is nothing but the parts and parcel of the whole group. Isn't it? So in this way, when we discuss and try to analyze and understand, absolute one is ever present, and that is the reality, the balanced state. And all these many are because of our ignorance. We don't see everything together. Our sight, our vision is limited. That's how this world becomes many. And object changes because of our inability to see the reality. That's how the object change. Just as I gave the example of the boy. In this way, if this manyness, and previously we have seen yesterday also, we should think both way together. The small holds the big, and big holds the small. Yesterday we were discussing. So both together we have to take. Then only our vision will be perfect. I gave the example of the coin, head and tail, and its shape, its marks, everything together becomes the coin. One thing is not coin. So, what happens? From all these analytical views, we come to the conclusion that unless and until this manyness, the multiplicity, or parts of the absolute one dissolves, we don't see the reality. And that is how in yoga, we were discussing about yoga yesterday. Yoga gives us the way to reach the absolute one. And what is that absolute one, and how it is to be achieved? That is given in the yogic methods. Okay, we shall see it. And from other angle, from logical angle, this is analytical study. From logical angle, if we see, there cannot be any creation which is perfect. Suppose the pot makers want to make a pot. Yesterday we were discussing it. If I am the pot maker, I want to make a pot. Without knowing, can I make it? If I don't know what is a pot, can I make it?
Yeah, through R&D we can make it.
Pardon?
Research, development, we can make a pot.
What?
If I don't know how to make pot,
No, without knowing the pot.
no.
We may not make the process. Process we will find out. Process is a changing phenomena.
No.
But without knowing the object what we are going to create, can we create?
No.
Logic. Now, I want to make a spectacle. I must know each and everything of it. Then only I can make it. So this knowledge, full, perfect knowledge, yesterday we were discussing how we perceive the object. One is haphazard from superficial, informative knowledge. If we throw a ball against the wall, colored recently, then we get back some color from the surface of the wall which comes to us by the ball. We know only the color, not what is there inside it. How it is composed, constructed, you don't know. The ball will not give you the information of its method of construction and ingredients within it. All this you don't know. When you know every bit of the ingredients which takes part in its construction, you don't know all about the wall. So you cannot make the wall, isn't it? You have to know everything. How the cement is mixed in what ratio and what is called cement, and how the sand or the mortar or if the brick or the stone is used there, and how the brick is made. Everything bit by bit, if you can understand and know, then only you can make a wall. You can construct a wall. This is the case with everything. And this knowledge is of different types. One is informative knowledge. From the surface we get something, outward knowledge. And on this we were discussing the amoeba, the monocellular being, how it takes the whole prey within it and consumes it and grows and gets divided into two, how it propagates. Understood? Yesterday we were discussing. So in this way, getting the prey in means it is total consumption. Then he knows what is the prey. When you eat and taste the honey, then only you know all about the honey, how it is. All the perfect knowledge depends upon to be one with it. To be one with it, then only you will get full knowledge. unless you have tasted honey, whatever I tell about honey, you don't understand fully what is honey. You have to taste and be one with the honey, then only you know what is honey. When you are one with the wall, you get all the bit of knowledge, how it is constructed, then only you know what is wall. To know all this, to be one with it. So when you are one with the object, you have lost your identity. Understand this point. When you are fully one with the object, to know the object, you have lost your identity. Just as the amoeba has grasped the prey and it has become one with it. And then the amoeba loses its identity, it becomes divided. If it wants to know itself, it is gone. It cannot become one with it for a long time. If it wants to know, it has to be one with it, then it loses its identity, and who is going to create what? When the creator has lost its identity, then how the creation, new creation is possible? Who will create? Did you follow the point? If the pot maker wants to create a pot, he has to be one with the pot. So there is no potter again outside. He has become one with the pot. Who will create the another pot? So on this point, the creation is impossible. Did you get the point? No. It is very difficult to understand. See, yes? Pardon? Tat? Tadanubhisat. Ah.
So there are two things only. He created and he entered the creation. That is what
Entered the creation means he became the creation. So there is no other creation.
that means there cannot be two at all.
No,
Only
there
when
is no
there
two.
there something will create.
There is no two. There is only one. If you see the creation, it is the truth only, one only. From logical point of view, this is how we have to reach the one. Only one is there, there is no many.
That means that the creation is the creator.
Huh?
Does that mean that the creation is the creator?
Pardon?
The creation becomes the creator.
Creation.
Is the creator.
Creation is not different from the creator.
One and the same.
So that means that the pot creates itself because the man has to become one with the pot.
Pardon?
To create it. The pot
Pot.
creates itself.
Yes, it is created by itself.
Yes.
So if at all we see difference, it is not reality. It is haphazard. It is not full, perfect two. There cannot be two. From logical point of view and from practical point of view, yoga teaches how to become one and lose all these manyness. How to be one.
So Swamiji, when you say creation is not possible, what you're meaning is creation is not possible by the individual.
There is,
Right, Swamiji?
if there is individual, this word is a complicated word. Individual means it is a comparative word because there is another individual, that's how you say it is individual being. If there is absolute one, there is no individual nor plural, nothing is there. But absolute presence is there. How? If you are sitting all alone in a lonely place, you never identify yourself with the name or form, I am so and so. There is no need. It doesn't happen. You have no name, no form. When the other comes, then only you say, I am so and so. When this is how, when the absolute one is there, it has got no name, no form, no identity, no individuality, no plurality, nothing is there. That's how the truth is without name and form, because it is absolute one. No quality is there. If it is one finger, it is neither big nor small. That is how we do the magic. I have drawn a line here. What do you say? The line is, see, from here to here. What do you say? Is the line long or small, short? What is it? Can you say something?
There's no comparison.
It is one. So no comparison, no degrees, neither comparative nor superlative, nothing is there. So, if magic, without touching it, can you make it big? Or can you make it small? Don't touch it. Can you make big or small? Magic, see? It has become bigger. If you draw a smaller line near it, when you compare, it has become bigger. And if you draw a bigger line near it, it has become smaller. When it was one, it was neither big nor small. When you drew a smaller line near this, then comparison starts, then it becomes bigger. And when you draw a bigger line near it, then it becomes smaller. Yes?
This is only because we are observing it.
Yes.
We are not observing, we can't say it's become bigger or smaller.
Yes. Everything because of us only. You see the universe.
So we create a new
We-
by seeing it.
By comparison only. When there is no comparison, absolute one, there is no comparison, no identity, no quality, nothing. That is what I am telling to make you understand. So when the absolute one truth is there, there is no creation. If creation you see, it is that only. Neither it is big nor it is small. That's how it is said, smaller than the smallest, bigger than the biggest. And neither it is one nor many. There is no counting. When there will be many, then only you count. If absolute one is there, there is no question of counting. There is no one. Even that one is just to give some name for our understanding, saying we say one. There is no one.
So what happens if we have like two pots and they are identical? Is there
Yes,
two
they
or
cannot
one?
be two. If they are identical in all sense,
Yeah,
there cannot be two.
only one.
Only one. Because they are similar in all respect. That's how they cannot be two. And in geometry we prove all this.
But if we put space with those two, we can say one is behind the other, or one is
It
not.
is only because of our mind, because of our conception, our assumption, conception, our understanding. We think many, and that many is in one, and that sometimes we don't see one and count one. When you count one, there must be two, so it is many also. In this way, always confusion.
Because we assume there is space and time, we can imagine there are two.
Yes. And the truth, the absolute one without a second, is beyond all these. So there is no possibility of creation. And how to be that? How to be that? If we can somehow or other destroy all these manis by yogic method, first of all, yama, niyama, then asana means steadiness, steadiness of the body and mind. Steadiness of mind is because of steadiness of prana. Prana is ever moving. So when prana becomes steady, mind becomes steady, and then body becomes steady, and then we become one. That one doesn't remain for a long time. That is how our Sanyam is given in the yogic method. Sanyam means to think of the one and to become one with the one and lose your identity. Then you are one with the absolute one. And whatever you think, you have become one with it. That's how, if you think of the sun, you become the sun, and then you know all about the solar system. That is how yogis see different planets, different creations, different worlds, being one with some objects of this creation. If you think of the moon, then you will become one with the moon, and then you know all about the stars and its movements and everything.
So what happens when we sleeping, when we are in deep sleep?
Deep sleep,
Yes. We still making
you are, of course, you are one at the time of deep sleep. Mind doesn't work, but it is in a negative way. That is what I always tell you. 12 o'clock, anti-clockwise also and clockwise also. There is 12. If you go clockwise, you reach 12. And anti-clockwise also you reach 12. But negatively if you go, there is a screen. Screen means your mind knows that you are moving in a negative way. It is the play of mind, the game of mind only. So it never experiences the absolute truth, though it is just near it. Say, I have reached the room, but there is a curtain. So I cannot see what is inside. If the curtain is taken out, I know what is there inside. I am standing at the door. Door you can reach with curtain and without curtain. So this negativity creates a curtain, a barrier between the truth and yourself. Understood? I have come and stood there on the door, but there is a curtain. Can I see what is there inside? Because of the curtain, I am unaware of the inside objects. If the curtain is taken out, I clearly see what is there inside.
So, in deep sleep, we move.
Deep sleep, there is a curtain. Mind is there, it is not active, so it is the curtain. Mind is there. Unless the mind is destroyed completely, you don't see the truth. Mind goes to the absolute negatively anti-clockwise. Rest means no action. No action means equilibrium. That is how we feel the darkness and day also, light also. There is a barrier. We don't see only. All the objects are there in the night. They are not destroyed. At night we don't see because of darkness. That is the curtain. And at daytime we see the same thing which were there present in night also. Understood? This is the difference between day and night. Light and darkness. What is the difference? Only visibility and invisibility. That is the difference. Objects are there. Nothing happens, no change is there. Only we see, that's how we call it light, and we don't see, that's why we call it darkness. And that is how it is compared with ignorance and knowledge. Knowledge, you know, that is called light, and darkness you don't know, that's why it is called ignorance. Ignorance is darkness and knowledge is light. That's how we call the truth is self-effulgent. There is no need of other light to see the light. Do you take a torchlight or a candlelight to see the lamp? Lamp is self-effulgent, so it is visible by itself. That is called self-effulgent, that is called light because it's vision. That is called knowledge. And thorough knowledge is only possible when you are one with the object. And that is possible when there is no mind, and mind is destroyed completely with its subconscious mind, intellect, ego, everything, prana, everything. Prana stops. Prana, when it works, moves, then only it is prana. If there is no movement, there is no prana. So on this basis, our great scientists, the saints and sages, they say, Natasya pranan utkramante, just as the emptiness, the vacuum in the inside the empty pot. When the pot is broken, nothing happens to the sky within it. It neither it mixes with the outer sky, nor it moves anywhere. It is just as it is, just as it was. It will be. All the time it has the equal state, it never changes. That also we saw yesterday or day before yesterday, how if the pot is taken from here to here, empty pot, do you think the sky is moving? if the empty pot is taken from here to here, do you think the sky is moved from one place to the other? No. Nothing happens to the sky. We may say something about the air. There may be little movement of the air inside it, but the sky never moves. Sky is all pervading, it is present everywhere. If I see the finger and then I see the say leg, I see the hand and then I see the say thumb and the leg. Do you think the body moves? Does the body move from one place to the other? Body is all pervading. Here is also body and in the leg also there is body. The body means the all pervading assumption or the totality. So if you see the hand and you see the leg, body never moves. Similarly, if you take the sky from one place to the other, that is meaningless. Sky never moves because it is present everywhere. It is all pervading. Understood?
So mind, as per our knowledge, mind has got conscious mind, subconscious mind, superconscious mind. So do you advise to say that there is something beyond superconscious mind?
Yes.
And we have to destroy all these minds?
Yes. I don't mean this only. Everybody has meant this. All the yoga or your Vedant or Raja Yoga or whatever you go through, everything, every theories, they come to this point only. You have to destroy everything. You have to become one with the Absolute. And then you lose your identity, and that is how you can see and visualize all the manyness within you. That is the yogi process, and this is how we were discussing yesterday.
Swamiji, by that example of the space in the pot, what you are saying is that the substratum is all pervading.
Yes, yes. The substratum is all pervading, that is what we call as the sky. It is everywhere there. Yes, Swamiji.
Maharaj, so from a relative point of view, logically, should we understand that since it is a negative clockwise approach or negativity of the mind, because of that again we come back from deep sleep to the waking state?
Negativity means it keeps quiet for some time, again it becomes active. That is called negativity. It keeps quiet. Say, you have bitten a snake and it keeps quiet. So you thought it is dead, you leave it and go. But after some time, it again it moves, and slowly it again becomes alive, and then it will not leave you. That is called, that steadiness gives you wrong assumption, wrong information. Mind becomes steady in deep sleep. it is not destroyed. But in meditation and samadhi, it gets destroyed, it loses its identity. But in deep sleep, it keeps up its identity and keeps quiet. That is called negativity.
So what happened with a person or a form without the five senses? How can someone who born without vision, without sound, without the ability to sense?
All these together gives the idea of creation, and we are always in the creation. If there is no all these, then we lose our identity. There is no world, there is nothing to do. All your actions and reactions are gone forever.
It is because of the mind everything.
हाँ वो क्या कहता है वो सरस्वती उपनिषद में, नश्यन्ति तस्य कर्माणि तस्मिन् दृष्टे परावरे. All your actions and reactions, your movement, your identity, everything is lost when you see that absolute. You lose yourself. There is no world, there is no need of doing anything. We do everything only for some relative purpose. Relative purpose. We have desires, we have to fulfill the desires. Desires are born of association of the senses with the object. Then we want to have those objects, desires are arised. Then we have to fulfill the desire by action. We have to get it. And that is our way of life.
So if someone born without senses, like
Without
the ability to see or to hear, someone is born like blind, or he can't hear, so he has
of course,
less ability to understand the world.
no, not less ability, its ability increases. If there is no eyes, he will be very particular to know everything by hearing. If one sense is not there, other sense becomes stronger. That is not our matter of discussion. You see, if born means his identity is there. So if the identity is there, then action and reaction is there. It is not only by the senses, it is by the mind also, intellect also, and feeling of the identity. I am so and so, I am born, I am dead. All these are our part of our identity. If I am there, I have to do something.
But who is I am? This is the...
That is to be found.
$1
When all the actions subside, then you know what is I. That is why all these saints, they advise us, inquire who am I, know thyself. Inquire who am I, know thyself. Unless the wavery surface of the water subsides, you cannot see what is there in the bottom, what is there in the substratum. That's how the every mind should be completely harmonized or brought into equilibrium. This is how the mind works, and we see many in one in many, and we are bewildered what is what. मूर्खों को भीतर भीतर जगत राम की भावना बनी रहे, कोई हानि नहीं। परंतु आप जैसे सर्वज्ञ महानुभावों को भला भीतर भीतर एक जगत के पीछे दूसरा जगत विद्यमान है, यह भ्रांति कैसे? ये तो बड़ा भयंकर प्रश्न पूछ लिए राम जी. Ram ji asked Basit ji. Basit ji told, I am able to see so many universes, they are flown away in the wind helplessly, just as the dust particle in the storm. I am able to see. Oh Ram, try to see all these. That is what Vasiti was explaining to Ram. Now Rama is putting the question, my revered Guru, I understood there are nothing, there is no world, nothing. And if the ignorant persons, they don't have anything outwardly, but inwardly they will have all these worlds filling up. I am there, I am doing something, or I need something, or I have something, all these they feel inwardly, outwardly they will keep quiet. It may happen to ignorant persons, common people, but you are the knowledgeable person, you know everything, you are giving us all these explanations. And how do you say that you are able to see all these worlds? Are they really there? How do you see it? You are advising me, oh Ram, try to see innumerable worlds, they are floating in the air helplessly. In the mind of the dead souls who are present in the subtler worlds, because mind has all these impressions, so they have the departed souls who are roaming here and there in the subtler realms. They have innumerable worlds in their mind. I am able to see all these. Oh Ram, why don't you try to see? You were just now you were telling me to see all these worlds. Now you are telling there is nothing. It is only mental creation. It may be mental creation for the ignorant persons, common people, worldly people who see the world. But for you, how can there be so many universes? How do you see it? This is the complicated question. If you are Vasishtha, what will you answer? Let us see what Vasishtha is telling. यह वस्तु हेय है और यह वस्तु उपादेय है। इस तरह का भेद भरी अज्ञता जिसके अंदर उपस्थित है, सर्वज्ञ होते हुए भी उस पुरुष को व्यवहार चलाने के लिए जब तक प्रारब्ध का बिल्कुल क्षय नहीं हो जाता, तब तक कुछ न कुछ मूढ़ता इसके पीछे लगी ही रहती है। वही कारण है कि सर्वज्ञ रहते हुए भी समष्टि जीवात्मा के हिरण्यगर्भ को अपने अवयवों की तरह भीतर में ही तीनों जगत का दर्शन होता है। Now,
Can I answer the question?
yes, come on.
About all those words, how do we know they are exist?
Pardon?
All those words, how do we know they are exist?
Yes.
They are exist only if we agree about it. When we agree there are words over there, then they are exist.
Yes. And who agrees? The mind agrees. So it is all in the mind, but the wise man is not the mind. I am not the mind, I am not the body. I am different from the body and mind and intellect and prana. I am the observer of, seer of all these. Just as I have all this sweater and overcoat or all this cloth, it belongs to me, I am not all these. Similarly, it is my body, it is my mind. My mind is flittering. My mind is not calm. That is my. I am not the mind. That's how I am not the mind, I am not the intellect, I am not this body, not the senses. So who are you? The man of knowledge, who is established in the knowledge, he becomes the witness of all these body, mind, senses, etc. He becomes the witness, just as the audience are not the players. The match is going on. Two teams are playing the match. They are involved in the action and reactions. But the audience, they just enjoy, they are onlookers, they witness the game and enjoy. So in this way the soul enjoys everything. The soul is not the body, not the mind, not the senses. So in that way, of course, we theoretically we understand to some extent, but the man of experience, the man of knowledge, true knowledge, they feel it. They are not the body, not the senses, not the mouth, not the speech. Neither they speak nor they hear. So how all these actions and reactions take place? By what? So Vasishtha is telling, all these great people, the wise people, the realized souls, they do actions, they speak like this. Oh Ram, there are several worlds I am able to see. This is seeing by the intellect or by intuition or by you see logic, or just as we were discussing now, by mind we could see there is no world. But this is only mentally, we don't have this experience. So in this way, though there are, I said, these worlds they do exist, it is only the mind which is telling. All these worlds belong to the mind, and I am not the mind. So I am different from the mind. So what is the difference between a wise man and an ignorant man? Ignorant man sees everything and thinks it is true. I am seeing. But the wise man sees everything similarly, just as the ignorant person sees. But the wise man thinks, his mind never thinks, I am the mind. He is different from the mind. He sees all these, accepts all these as an onlooker, as an witness, not as the doer or seer. He never sees anything. He is different from all these. This is the only difference, and wise man never feels inwardly in his heart of hearts, which is beyond the mind, intellect, etc. he never feels all these are really there. But by the mind, by the intellect, he sees all these. That's how he says also, he hears also. Everything is done. And other examples also we'll have. And we have already seen before many times how a man of wisdom, a real soul, do all these. He says because of prarabdha. Prarabdha means it is just like the arrow which is taken from the its place and already discharged from the bow. It has been discharged. So it has to hit the target. So once it is discharged, we cannot draw it back or we cannot divert it from its direction. It has to hit the target. So our present life is just like that. It is taken from our whole amount of memories or impressions which are stored in the subconscious mind, which is not little, it is uncountable, unimaginable because of our many previous lives. We have done so much. All those impressions are there present, and a portion of it has been brought for this life. That is called prarabdha. Just like the whole course of a student starting from LKG and first standard till the master and bachelor standard, he will undergo so many courses. For every class there will be a particular course, some scheme. On the 8th standard you have to study this much. On 9th standard you have to study little higher this much. That is schemed, that is planned before. That cannot be altered. So in this way, the wise men, they are under this way of that already planned, just as the discharged arrow, it cannot be withdrawn. So this is how, by the force of this prarabdha, body and mind, they do something meaninglessly. It is meaningless for a wise man who understands, I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the senses. Senses do the action, mind gives the order. So I am not all these, the phenomena is going on, let me see it and enjoy. He is not the doer, not the enjoyer. That's how he never gets the result of it, but the work is going on. Just as the hired labor, bandhua mazdoor, the hired labor comes and works in the field. He is not concerned about the yield, what is got after the farming, after the harvesting. Whatever comes after harvest, that goes to the owner of the field. That is not shared by the laborers. Labor just do the work and go home, getting their daily charges. In that way, the wise man thinks all these body and mind, they do the work for the time being. They are not the enjoyer of the result. There is no result at all. Because I am not going to enjoy the result. I am not the doer. And these body and mind also, senses also, they do for the time being. They are not the enjoyer of the final yield, final result. So this goes on meaninglessly. This is how Vasishtha ji explains to Rama, I speak to you all these, it is not I, it is my mouth, my mind, whatever is there in the mind that comes out when you put some question. Neither I spoke anything, nor you heard anything from me. This is the final conclusion. O Ram, neither there are any words, nor I have told about all these, nor you have heard anything from me, neither you are there, nor I am here as bodies. We are one absolute. You have not heard anything, nor I have spoken anything. But by the way, if you think you have heard, it is your mind. And if you think I have spoken something, it is my mind. The play of the mind. Neither you are concerned with it, involved in it, nor I am involved in it. So in this way, enjoy. Don't be entangled in your hearing and doing. It is just for amusement. Yes, Swami. See, after seeing the drama or after seeing the match as an onlooker, when you come home, do you bring your cup or abuses or the sorrow of the defeated team and joy of the winner team? Do you bring it to your home? You are just an onlooker, just you enjoyed there and it is gone.
Yeah, but when we were children and we go to a movie of, karate or something, we go outside and we keep doing the movement.
If you are a player, if you are just a seer, onlooker, all these never happen. If you are a player, of course, all those impressions you will bring. If you are just an onlooker, enjoy it and that is enjoyed there. You don't bring all these enjoyment home. So in this way, the difference between the wise man and the ignorant man. So tomorrow we shall see further what is the difference between the wise man, though he does everything by the senses and mind and body, he is not the doer, and the ignorant persons, they do with doership, I am doing everything. So they enjoy the result, pleasure and pain, but the wise man is not subject to enjoyment. They never enjoy pain or pleasure. This is tomorrow to be discussed. Hari Om. ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति शांति शांति। सद्गुरु भगवान की जय, सच्चिदानंद भगवान की जय, योग वशिष्ठ जी भगवान की जय। हरि ओम।